Good afternoon and welcome to this month's edition of Husky Headlines. I'm Scarlett Chu.
And I'm Salma Salem. Hey Scarlett, did you know that today is Election Day?
I did. We go to Anaya to tell us more about the behind the scenes leading up to today's important day.
On and prior to Election Day, many people go to their local polling places to cast their votes. What many don't think about are the volunteers who aid in the election process. This year, BVNW NHS members will be volunteering at the Johnson County Election Office to help with ballot counting after voting ends.
Basically, my mom take her NHS students from Olathe North. They help out at the election office every election day. So that's how I found the election office. And I'm like, this is a great chance for our students at Blue Valley Northwest to have a chance to get community service hours.
Though Northwest students will be working after voting ends today, they are just one group of people working at the election office.
So under my responsibility comes the aspect of finding polling places, conducting elections, programming the ballot, laying out the ballot, working with candidates on the filing forms, doing voter registrations, training and finding election workers, and helping those election workers prepare for our Election Day activity.
The election office is split into two teams. We have a team that works with the voters, the voter registration folks. I don't work with them as much. They're the ones that are public facing. I work with the operations team. The operations team is the side that actually administers the election. So training the workers, organizing the workers, the equipment, the supplies, all of that.
All election workers represent the election office as a whole and are responsible for maintaining its integrity before, during, and after Election Day.
And what they say and do is important. And again, the clear message is to service the voter, to give the voters an opportunity to confidently and consistently cast their vote for the November general election here in Johnson County, Kansas. So again, the process has a lot of checks and balance to it. It's safe, secure, fair, and accurate in terms of voting and the election process here in Johnson County, Kansas.
Volunteering at an election office can be considered an important civic duty for U.S. citizens.
It's also important to do community service towards our country because it's helping out our country. It doesn't have to be at the election office, but at the election office, it can help making sure other people are doing their jobs that they need to do quick and efficiently.
Election workers play an important role in our democracy. When looking for a unique community service opportunity, one can simply go to jocoelection.org when the next election season comes around. This is Anaya Zaman for Husky Headlines.
Did you know that the musical is just around the corner?
Yes, and Eli tells us more as he goes behind the scenes of Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia is coming to Blue Valley Northwest on November 14th, featuring set pieces, musical numbers, and elaborate performances. But what did it take to get here?
I would not say that the two shows, The Addams Family and Mamma Mia, are super different from a design perspective and a performance perspective. It's not more difficult to go from one to the other. It's actually feels pretty refreshing because we get to try all sorts of new techniques and different paint colors and palettes. So it's pretty fun to get to switch the books so much.
Mamma Mia takes place on a fictional island off the coast of Greece. From the crew's perspective, it's a much more nuanced atmosphere than last year's Addams Family, so stagecraft has to make sure it's portrayed accurately.
With this costumes, they're easier to find out on Amazon or just up in the loft versus, Addams, where it was a specific theme where we didn't quite have a lot of material to work with. Versus Mamma Mia, we have so much to work with. We have a lot of stuff, but also it's just, I feel like it's a lot more comfortable for the actors from what I've heard.
It isn't just the costumes that have to fit the scheme, though. No musical is complete without the set for the performance.
The set is a lot more colorful than it was last year, and there's, I think, a lot more moving parts to it in comparison to last year's, where you have a lot of people making a lot of just small things at the set, a lot more brighter colors now. They're working with more natural colors, so it allows a more natural feel on the actors, which might be easier to achieve in comparison to using a lot more darker colors because you have to figure out a proper way to light them. Generally, what we've been doing is that we've been taking a look at places in Greece and seeing how we can make our set reflect some of those places, but we're also trying to put our own spin on it, of course.
It's definitely a lot more complex. We have this giant tree structure and we're making all of these paper flowers. That's what a lot of what my crew's doing. It's a lot more realistic and a lot less stylized than the Addams Family. It's real people in a realistic setting. You have to pay more attention to making sure things look real and believable.
Needless to say, it takes a lot of pieces to put together the final product, and Mamma Mia is a prime example. Catch this musical production on November 14th in the PAC. This is Eli Dunley for Husky Headlines.
Now we go to Logan to learn about a student with a unique condition.
Many students at Northwest struggle with some form of disability that affects their learning. One such student, Carson Hunt, is 1 out of 51 people in the world that has homocystinuria, or HCU, a disorder that disrupts the body production of amino acids. This affects Hunt's eyesight, and he's spreading awareness through a fundraiser.
If you know what 20/20 vision is, and I currently have 2160 or 2180. So basically, if someone is at 160 yards, I'm looking like at a billboard or something, I'd need to be 20 yards in front of it.
With these challenges, Hunt is still able to participate in the sports and activities that he loves.
Taekwondo is a big accomplishment in my life. It took 3 years to get my black belt. When I learned to ride a bike, only be able to ride it in parking lots with big spaces. I would say another thing that is a big accomplishment in my life is in the band. And I've been playing an instrument since I've been in 5th grade. But what my teachers do is get enlarged music to a size where I'm able to read it well.
With Hunt also juggling school at the same time, with many activities, teachers have to adapt their teaching style to help Carson learn.
As I'm planning a lesson, I try to think about Carson with the understanding that with technology, he's able to overcome a lot of his challenges. Very, very minor things that have, I would say, probably improved my teaching for other students as well.
People in Hunt's family are able to support and raise awareness for his disorder.
I am heavily involved with what's called HCU Network America, which is our nonprofit that is raising awareness and funds for this rare genetic disorder. It's better together when it comes to research and grants and showing that we are the doctors that we are worth fighting for, who are living with this rare genetic disorder, who need new therapies, because quite frankly, there hasn't been any new medications or a therapy since 1996.
If you want to donate for life-saving research, go to hcunetworkamerica.org to learn more. This is Logan Churchill for Husky Headlines.
Have you heard the band lately?
They sound amazing, but there seems to be a new group performing with them.
The Houghton Husky Marching Band has been around since 1993, creating elaborate shows for the school. This year, they decided to bring back something they have not used since the 22-23 season, the front ensemble.
So the front ensemble is the percussion section at the front of the marching band, which is why it's called that. And that's basically all of the percussion instruments that we don't march, plus electronics. So all of our keyboard percussion instruments will have concert bass drum, gong, a ton of different cymbals. Some of those instruments used to be marched like 50 years ago, which realized it was bad further back. So all of that moved to the front of the fields.
With the front ensemble being different every year, students in the ensemble have different opinions about this year's band.
I think it's a good plan with the amount of incoming percussionists, as we had like 11 incoming percussionists last year, and it wouldn't have made sense to put them all on marching cymbals. Even though we have kind of hard notes and runs we have to play, we're not marching at the same time. If we were marching, it would be like a lot harder.
Though the front ensemble seems simpler than the rest of the marching band, it's not easy as it seems.
Most people don't think about the front ensemble as much, because you're not moving around with a heavy instrument and marching around a lot, but you are pushing a lot of instruments. And we went to K-State this weekend, so we had to load all the trucks and keep track of all the instruments and set things up and take things down. And it was a lot of hard work, and you have to commit to it. That's the cool part about it.
The front ensemble is a unique part of the marching band, and although they may be a small part, they make a big impact. This is Logan Churchill for Husky Headlines.
Were you at the football game last Friday?
I was, and this week I found out our student section was ranked one of the best in the state.
On game days, students fill the stands to support the Huskies and spend time with their friends. Recently, Northwest was third in the state on an Instagram account focused on reviewing high school student sections.
Last year, we caught We caught the Blue Valley Northwest a couple times where it's like, okay, you guys were our student section that people should probably take a look at for Kansas. And I'm starting to notice the dog pound posts more and more. I'm like, okay, these guys can battle with the boneyard.
I think the nature of the Northwest student section is improving. I think we're in a little bit of a lull right now. Kids got a lot going on. We started off strong. We kind of taken a little dip, so I'm looking for us to get back to that opening game kind of vibe.
While the student section is bringing attention to the school through the third place ranking, the real positive is how they can change the atmosphere of the games.
We come to school every single day. We see these people, 5 days a week. And it's more of just, I think, being connected with everybody here. Even if it's a sport that you don't support, you and all your friends can go and support them and show that we love everybody here.
The biggest thing is that you're supporting each other. It shows that you're there for each other, and that's ultimately one of the things that I want kids to take away is to help each other out in life.
Alvarez thinks Northwest has the potential to be the best student section in Kansas.
So it's kind of an open field now for Kansas. Keep posting consistently. You guys, the Boneyard, the Birdhouse, will be battling because you guys consistently show off the student sections.
After being rated best up-and-coming student sections in Kansas, it wasn't a surprise. It was more of just, now we're there, let's see how much farther we can take this.
Sounds like we got 2 places to jump up to. Let's see some more improvements. Keep having fun. Bring your friends, and we got to cheer from top to bottom. 3rd place is a fine place to be, but I like to be number 1.
Get involved in our student section and vote through the Student Section Report's Instagram. Let's build momentum as we wrap up fall sports and get ready to kick off our winter season. Also, be sure to look out for game themes on our Pep Club's Instagram, BVNW Pep Club. This is Salma Salem for Husky Headlines.
The student section at games are always cheering on the sports teams, but they're not the only ones.
Welcome back to H2 Versus, where we put H2 staff members up against some of our most talented students and staff. This month, our very own Scarlett Chu went up against the BVNW cheerleaders.
Since freshman year, but I did competitive cheer in middle school. I love cheering at Northwest. I think it's one of the best programs in Blue Valley. I'm very proud to be a Northwest cheerleader.
I started doing cheer my freshman year, and my position is a back spot.
Although Fiocati and Newbie have a cheer background, H2 staff member Scarlett Chu can't say the same, but still has an advantage due to having a dance background.
No, I don't play any competitive sports. I used to dance competitively, but I quit, so I don't do that anymore.
No one starts amazing their first year, so I think with practice she could totally get better. I think she did a really good job considering her dance background. She looked really good.
It was actually way better than I expected, and she was good at it, and she took all the feedback and corrections well. People who used to dance are so good with cheer. There's some things that are different, but sometimes it is a good thing having experience with cheer.
I think it went all right. It was definitely a lot of fun. I was really excited to do it and learn some cheer stuff. I thought that the basing was really cool, where you know how the flyer flies, but then the 3 girls are holding her up, and I thought it was really cool to be a part of that, and how you have to hold her ankles up and then also counter her weight so that the other 2 people aren't using as much force as that they could.
People often do not realize the preparation a cheer team has to do in order to put on a performance.
Absolutely. I think it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of hard work, and a lot of people don't see that most of the time. And I just think there's a lot that goes unseen.
One of the hardest things is probably you have to really dedicate to it and put an effort to it and really try your best, and you can't give up even though there will be times where you'll want to.
I consider cheer a sport because it's, first of all, you go to practice, they have practice literally so often. I was really surprised, but you go to practice, it's a physical activity, you're working with other people, and it's something that you work at over and over again to get better at, similar to other sports. Just because there's not a ball in the sport doesn't mean that it's not a sport. It's still a lot of work, and it's still really hard to do. The stuff that they do is so hard just to do to somebody who's never done cheer before.
So next time you're at a game, make sure to cheer along with our BVNW cheerleaders and appreciate the hard work they put in every day. This is Rylan Jar for Husky Headlines.
The cheerleaders do such a good job at games.
Our student athletes have been as well. We check in with Game Day Gordo for an update on fall sports.
What's up, Huskies? Game Day Gordo here with your second HSN report of the year. It's playoff season for the Dogs, so we'll get right into it with cross country. On October 26th, the cross-country team participated in regionals. On the boys' side, senior Jay Durham finished 9th and sophomore Jacob D'Souza finished 11th, while the team placed 8th overall. For the girls, freshman Mariah Yadola finished 14th and the team placed 6th. The volleyball team's season came to an unfortunate end at Sub-State versus a tough Gardner-Edgerton team. On the year, volleyball finished 15 and 19. Junior Morgan Sears led the way in kills and blocks, while seniors Summer Anderson and Marley Burbach paced digs and assists, respectively. Third in the lineup today is boys soccer. They headed into the playoffs with a record of 5-8-2 after a heartbreaking final stretch that saw 3 one-goal losses and an overtime draw. In preparation for a first-round playoff battle with Shawnee Mission West, I talked to Coach Pollock in this month's one-on-one.
Almost done with the soccer season. How's it gone so far?
It's been fruitful in terms of player development and our team chemistry. There's been ups and downs throughout the season, and so we're looking to peak here this last week, and then as we look towards the postseason, I think we've got great leadership with 11 seniors, so I'm thinking that our best soccer is ahead of us.
A couple tactical changes so far. What have those been, and what has motivated them?
Scoring has been a challenge, so we've shifted things around with where players are playing, and then formationally from a 4-3-3 to trying a 3-5-2 to get more numbers in the midfield.
What are you looking forward to in playoffs?
I just think there's a different intensity. You lose, you go home. So the postseason, like that sort of intensity is tangible, and it makes practices more fun, more purposeful, because there's more energy involved.
And lastly, who would you say is the best Husky Headlines reporter / soccer player you've ever coached?
Cooper Bryant, for sure.
I see how it is. Thank you.
Foul play from Coach Pollock. Over to girls golf now, as regionals took place on October 15th. The Huskies placed 5th of 7. In the state tournament, junior Caroline Lee qualified and finished 45th overall. Now for girls tennis. On October 10th, the Huskies placed 4th of 9 overall at regionals, with doubles partners Cami Pang and Miriam Wamby qualifying for state, and Madeline Abel qualifying in the singles department. Wamby and Pang placed 3rd at state, and Abel placed 10th, putting the Huskies tied for 4th overall as a team. Lastly, we head to the turf, as football found itself in a rough patch, losing 3 tough EKL matchups in a row and contracting the injury bug. They were able to pull themselves out with a 40-13 senior night victory over Southwest, in a game that saw Trevor Garlington rack up 113 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. That win put their regular season record at 5-3 heading into playoffs. In other news from the gridiron, vaunted 5-star recruit and Indian Valley Elementary legend Andrew Babaloa recently committed to Michigan to continue his athletic career. Congrats and best of luck to Andrew. And that's all for this month's edition of HSN. I am Game Day Gordo, and remember to stay sporty, Northwest. Back to you, Scarlett and Sama.
Hey, have you been hearing the vibrations and loud noises on our end of the building recently?
Yes, I have. Here's why.
Construction officially began on the new weight room at Northwest on October 1st. The new development will feature a spacious weight room, replacing the previous one due to its limited size.
It's part of Bond 2023, which our voters voted on over a year ago in January. We started the process for what our new weight room at Northwest would look like. Our strength and conditioning classes are packed. Sometimes they have a couple of students beyond what the enrollment cap is. Our new weight room will be double the size of our current weight room, which will create a really safe environment for students to do their lifts and to do their conditioning.
According to the Blue Valley Executive Director of Operations, there are many steps that go into a project like this one.
So it goes way back to bond planning. We go through a list of projects, needs throughout the district. That gets whittled down. We go before our community. The community supports the bond issue. Once that's done, we hire an architect. We begin design alongside with a construction manager. We have to go through a permit process with the city, and then we get to where we are today. We start building everything.
Since the new weight room will be near the new main gym, the old weight room will be converted into another space that will benefit BV&W athletics.
Over half of it will be another wrestling room. We have a girls wrestling team that will be able to have a space to utilize and not have to schedule around the boys wrestling team or vice versa. And then there'll be an officials locker room, flex locker room down there that we can utilize during the school day and then in the evening for our basketball officials.
Design aspects in the new weight room are expected to engage students and increase Husky passion and pride.
One of the big design pieces that we spent some time talking about was this huge backlit Husky that is going to be on the kind of back wall of the new weight room. You're going to see this huge Husky logo that I think just kind of captures the school pride that we have and hopefully kind of motivates students to give it their best effort in the weight room.
We're thankful that a few of our teachers and coaches got to sit down with the architectural team and the district team and helped plan, and they gave us some options, and we kind of like this better. We really had some positive input into what the room will look like.
With the addition of the new weight room, Northwest Athletics are excited for its expected completion around May 16, 2025. This is Manjot Singh Lamba for Husky Headlines.
The new weight room is not the only new building we'll see around this area.
Gordon tells us about the new developments at BluHawk.
With widespread suburban growth in South Johnson County, an all-new development is catching the eye of many. BluHawk is an expansive 300-acre development located off of Antioch and 159th Street, which was purchased by Price Brothers Management Company in 2004. According to Price Brothers Vice President of Development Bart Lowen, their newest development, Advent Health Sports Park, looks to offer a unique experience for a growing industry.
This sports facility is a response to a $52 billion youth sport industry, and it's so close to the retail that we're doing. We're creating an experience here that really allows that family to enjoy coming to the sports facility, not just for the event, but for everything at this facility and everything the shopping center right outside the front door has to offer.
The facility, with the first of 2 construction phases complete, currently houses an NHL-sized ice rink, a massive court space capable of fitting 8 full-sized basketball courts, a half-dozen locker rooms, as well as 16 bowling alleys, an arcade with laser tag and a zip line, a turf field, and food and drink areas for both children and adults. Kellen Briscoe, a senior at BVNW, temporarily relocated to Iowa to pursue a more competitive hockey career. He hopes the new rink will bring more attention to hockey in Kansas City.
It was a big decision to help me get to the next step with hockey, to go play juniors. With the team in Kansas, I wasn't able to do that.
Hockey is often an overlooked sport in the Kansas City area, with few local rinks and tournaments typically played in St. Louis or Iowa.
Right now, no, hockey's not too popular, but hopefully with this new rink being built, hopefully we can get a good hockey foundation and help grow the sport here.
In addition to Advent Health Sports Park, a new retail section, The Boundary, is set to open in 2026, bridging the current shopping center straight to the front door of the sports park.
This project's actually going to provide a comprehensive experience for that 3-day weekend that everybody's going to enjoy. And quite frankly, that weeknight when Mom's bringing Junior out here for practice and she's got to kill an hour or two.
This development figures to generate immense interest for BluHawk in the metro area, as it hopes to host regional and national sporting tournaments, bringing in thousands. Scott Wagner, a longtime goldsmith and owner of Scott's Diamond Designs, a small jewelry business in BluHawk, has seen an uptick in business with more development in the area.
We've seen quite of an improvement, especially since this a larger store was brought in, TJ Maxx. It brings in a lot of people. All day, every day, the parking lot's full of cars. We've got some great stores here.
Despite the exciting prospects, there is some controversy around the growing BluHawk development. The sports park, which will cost an estimated $125 million, is partially funded by Star Bonds. These are state funds given to Kansas municipalities to help fund large tourism and entertainment ventures, which are paid back by the subsequent sales tax generated from these ventures. These bonds help to fund the Kansas Speedway as well as Prairie Fire. Though the developments often draw local attention, many argue that there aren't enough regional or national visitors to pay back the bonds, which causes other funds, such as state lottery money, to be allocated to the bond. As for BluHawk, the $70 million invested by the Kansas government are expected to be paid off within the next 20 years, and it remains to be seen whether the development will bring in the revenue.
Man, what am I not excited for? Every little step along the way just is exciting for me. I'm really excited for this facility to open because I'm really interested to see how the user responds to this facility.
With Advent Health Sports Park opening October 26th, the future is bright for the BluHawk development. This is Gordon Alcock for Husky Headlines.
Hey Scarlett, what's your favorite season?
My favorite season is fall. What's yours?
Mine is fall too. We go to Ellie to tell us about some fun fall activities.
As fall arrives in KC, the leaves change color and the air turns crisp. There is no better time to get outside and enjoy some seasonal fun. Here are some festive activities the Kansas City metro area has to offer. About 30 minutes south of Overland Park sits the Lewisburg Cider Mill. Established in 1977, the long history proves the cider mill has a little something for everyone. From the pumpkin patch and corn maze to the delicious apple cider and donuts, the cider mill is a great place to stop by and enjoy the beautiful fall weather. Catch the Lewisburg Cider Mill this last week before it closes on the 10th. Right down the street from BV&W is the Deanna Rose Farmstead. Deanna Rose offers fall-themed activities throughout the season. With or without these special events, the farmstead is a great place to visit. Animals and history abound. If you're looking for service hours, this is a great place to look into. Deanna Rose is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Every Saturday from 10 to 3, you can visit the Kansas City River Market. If you are searching for a special something, you can find it here. Whether a grocery staple, a unique gift, something exotic or imported, or the thing that you didn't even know you needed, the River Market has you covered. Great food and great shopping are abundant at this KC destination. Nearby, the Arabia Steamboat Museum displays a variety of items recovered in a sunken ship from the Missouri River in the mid-19th century. A fall essential is enjoying the delicious flavor that comes with autumn. Whether you like good pumpkin bread, pumpkin spice, or homemade apple cider, there are many great recipes to make delicious fall snacks. Fall crafts are also a great way to kick off the new season. Collect some leaves, rub a crayon over the top to create beautiful leaf patterns. Another fun activity is pumpkin painting. Kansas City has many beautiful walking trails where you can admire the beautiful changing leaves without spending a penny. The Overland Park Arboretum has beautiful paths, and in the upcoming weeks there are enchanting lights to admire at night while taking a stroll. As the nights are getting longer, take advantage of the clear skies, grab a blanket, find a dark spot, and enjoy the view of the stars. Whether it's at a local stadium or watching your favorite team on TV, football is a must. Gather with friends, make some snacks, and enjoy the game together. Enjoy the outdoors before the winter freeze covers our city in white. Take advantage of this beautiful season while it lasts. This is Ellie Votipka for Husky Headlines.
Many Jewish holidays were celebrated just a few weeks ago.
In this month's edition of Husky Worldwide, Lily tells us about the Jewish community.
On this edition for Husky Worldwide, we will deep dive into the Jewish culture and explore the historical and artistic avenues of the culture.
Jewish art reflects the history and the experience of the Jewish people in that a lot of these objects were created to help us observe rituals, whether that's a special cup for the blessing over the wine. That is an object that helps us observe a particular ritual. They help us celebrate a holiday that is all about Jewish history as Jews were rededicating a place that was holy to them.
But I'm constantly seeing new art go up on the walls or pieces I haven't noticed before. And it's great because Michael Klein, who owns the collection, one of his rules for us being stewards of it was that it has to be a living collection. It has to be used and referenced in our education classes in Sunday school or using the ritual objects for holidays.
The art shows the different aspects of the culture, but the holidays such as Yom Kippur and Sukkot are what brings the community together.
We're actually celebrating a holiday right now called Sukkot, which is a harvest holiday. You might see your Jewish neighbors building a temporary structure, what we call a sukkah, in their backyard, because the Torah, what some people call the Old Testament, commands us to dwell in these temporary houses for the week. It has lots of different connections, but the holiday itself actually teaches that if you don't bring guests into your sukkah, into that booth or hut that you've built in your backyard, it's as if you didn't celebrate the holiday at all.
The art and holidays help provide a connection to their community. It also impacts their Jewish values and identity.
My Jewish identity has been very important to me. That's how I've been raised. My mom is Jewish, but my dad isn't, and it was very important to my mom that she still had a Jewish home. So being around people who have the same values as me and the same culture as me, and I get to feel like I'm fully myself around the Jewish community, and I feel very connected when I'm with them.
I'm so grateful for the chance to get to share about my Jewish identity with others. You know, I think there's so many wonderful things in this world that make us unique or that we feel special about ourselves with, and my Jewish identity is something that I love, and I'm so grateful for people who are curious. I think in general the world needs more curiosity, less judgment.
I think Jewish culture is really great. There's a lot of really meaningful traditions, and I think that people don't often know a lot about Jewish culture, but it's a nice community. So.
This art not only inspires people, but makes them want to learn more about the culture and the people a part of it. This is Lily Mesmer for Husky Headlines.
With the return of Pizza Hut and the soft serve ice cream machine, we asked students what their favorite food was in the cafeteria.
In this edition of Husky Pause, we ask students about their favorite thing in the lunchroom.
I like the chocolate milk.
My favorite thing in the lunchroom is probably the pizza. It's been pretty good.
I'm gonna have to say Pizza Hut. The potato coins.
My personal favorite thing in the lunchroom is the donuts.
The cookies.
I'd probably say the fruit. The fruit would be really good, and I'm a healthy guy.
I really like the school cookies. They're really good.
Probably the salads. I really like salads.
My favorite thing in lunch is pizza. I'm happy that they brought Pizza Hut back, so I'm gonna say the cookies. Low key. I'm gonna say the cookies.
School pizza and cookies. Yeah, the school pizza and the ice cream.
Now we go to Scarlett to hear more about the cafeteria staff.
More than 1,000 students go through the lunchroom every day. But what actually goes on behind the scenes to make all the food appear in a timely manner?
In the morning, I'm coming and I'm turning on everywhere. I'm opened all the door. So I'm preparing for breakfast. After me, my 2 co-workers come in. They start for lunch prep. And then I'm checking all the email and I'm doing the order for another weeks. Then we starting cooking for lunch and prepping for lunch.
Working in the cafeteria comes with its own challenges. Bill Gilmore, former lead custodian, talks about some difficulties he faces.
There is a lot of timing and if you're running behind, you just have to speed up. As you know, the students are coming when they're coming. You can't change that.
With so many hungry students to feed, it is important for the cafeteria staff to work well together.
Now we are very good team. So everybody working, we like each other. It's very good this year.
You know, I'm the rookie here, so they're teaching me and they're very patient and they've really been great. I think they're good teachers. They've been good working with me and I feel like that they're good with the students. I think they've got a pretty good staff here.
In fact, the students are a big part of these staff members' daily lives.
I like all the students. I'm missing them when I not see them daily. So I'm used to them, you know, so I like it. They like me too. I don't know, but I feel.
There's particularly some of them that are just brutally honest that just makes you smile.
The staff and administration recognize the important role the lunch staff has during the school day to feed Northwest students.
Food is fuel, so just seeing how hard our students work every day in the classroom and on the playing field and marching band and orchestra and the musical, I think it's really important that students are provided with good nutrition and they fuel themselves up. It's lunchtime and it's not just the food, but I see a lot of smiles, joking around, students seem happy. I think that's part of how we build community here too.
Lunch is a vital part of every student's day, and the cafeteria is fueled by the hardworking staff who strive to provide the best lunchroom experience possible. This is Scarlett Chu for Husky Headlines. That's all for today. See you in next month's edition of Husky Headlines.
Have a great day, Northwest.